Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chris. It's your boy Chris. It's another amazing episode of Financipation. This channel is all about making money, saving money, building generational wealth, and financially emancipating yourself from generational poverty. On this channel, everybody, I give you a six-figure MBA level with investing and financial knowledge for free here on YouTube. And the things that people typically spend hundreds of thousands of dollars learning in grad school, I give it to you for free here on Financipation. Before I get started, I want to give a shout out to Kilico Solutions. They're one of my sponsors. If you need digital marketing, someone to do website development, or someone to essentially edit your YouTube videos, they're the best in the business of meeting all of your digital needs. And also, please hit that notification bell so you know when I drop new content. Please like, please comment, please share, please subscribe. It helps the algorithm, and I thoroughly enjoy giving you guys free content, okay? So for this particular podcast, we're going to talk about 9 ways, essentially, to get wealthy on a low salary. So with that, let's get started. The first way, everybody, to build wealth on a low income is to create and stick to a budget. It sounds very rudimentary and everything, but it's like this, everybody. If you book a one-on-one session with me, I don't care if you're a lawyer or a doctor that makes $500,000 a year, or you're a teacher that makes $50,000 a year. The first thing that we do is that we establish a budget for you. And we go through, we create an itemized list of what you're spending and essentially what you're making every month. So if you book a one-on-one session with me, that is literally the first thing you do, because it is literally impossible, everybody, to hit a target if you have no idea what you are shooting for. It's even harder to financially emancipate yourself from poverty if you're in to build generational wealth, if you have no idea how much money you have coming out, no idea how much money you have coming in. And by tracking your spending habits, people, you can essentially identify where you can cut back on your spending, and more importantly, where you can redirect that money towards your future investments. So the first way, everybody, to get wealthy on a low income is to create a budget. The next way to build wealth on a low income is to have a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. Dave Ramsey says you should only have about a $1,000 emergency fund. I personally think that's a little outdated, because in 2024, the average apartment in America costs $1,700 per month. So if you only have a $1,000 emergency fund, that's not even enough money to cover 1 month of rent. I therefore think that it's a little outdated and it makes no sense to have a $1,000 emergency fund. I do, however, agree with the sentiment of that. My advice, everybody, is after you create that budget, you should know literally down to the dollar how much money you have going out and how much money you have coming in. And once you determine that amount, you should be able to estimate how much money you need to have that 3 to 6 month emergency fund. For example, let's say once you do your budget, you have $5,000 essentially of your monthly expenses. That would mean your 3-month emergency fund is $15,000. And conversely, it would also mean that your 6-month emergency fund is $30,000. So by establishing that emergency fund, it's literally crucial on your journey to building generational wealth. And your emergency fund essentially acts as a safety net that prevents you from running to credit cards, which unfortunately charge you on average 22% interest whenever you hit an actual emergency. And let's face it, people, emergency funds and financial disasters are going to actually happen in your life. There are going to be situations where your wife gets pregnant, you get surgery, you may need to change the alternator on your car, your AC unit in your house blows. Something is going to happen that's going to require you to spend a lot of money very quickly that you did not anticipate for. And that's where the emergency fund comes into play. So the next way to get wealthy on a low income is to have a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. Next, the next way to build wealth on a low income is to live below your means. Everybody, we've all heard the stories before. A pro baseball player like Kurt Schilling goes broke, or a pro hockey player goes broke. These are individuals that potentially made millions of dollars doing their perfected field as a professional athlete, but they retire dead broke, and they're going to essentially have to change their entire lifestyle, or they're going to retire homeless. So I use those analogies to say this: it's not what you make, people, it's what you save. Here in Miami, for instance, I run across doctors and lawyers that make over $1 million a year that are dead broke because they spend roughly $2 million a year partying it up. And conversely, I meet teachers in Miami that only make $50,000 a year, but they're going to retire wealthy because they essentially only spend $30,000 a year, and they figure out a way to invest $15,000 to $20,000 a year for the next 20 to 30 years. So living below your means, everybody, is literally paramount to your chances of retiring with dignity and respect, because you cannot out-earn bad spending habits. I don't care how much money you make. Look no further than Adrian Peterson and Kurt Schilling. So people, avoid succumbing to lifestyle inflation habits that often accompany pay raises and inheritances as well. So for instance, if you're making $40,000 a year and you get a promotion, now you're making $60,000 a year. Do not go out and buy a $20,000 car. Instead, take that $20,000 difference and invest it into some of the retirement accounts and some of the index funds I'm going to talk about later in this podcast. Next, the next way to build a wealth on a low income is to automate your investments every month. So everybody, it's like this. When I get paid a certain percentage of my income automatically goes to my Roth IRA, my 401k, my HSA, my brokerage accounts, and my children's 529 custodial accounts, period. In fact, I literally never see this money. It's almost like it flat out does not exist because it automatically gets deposited from my paycheck into one of my 3 brokerage accounts, Charles Schwab, Fidelity, or Vanguard. It's also very cool when I look at my accounts at the end of the year and my 401k has essentially been maxed out. My Roth IRA has been maxed out. My HSAs have been maxed out. And my 401k has been maxed out. And there's a certain percentage of my brokerage accounts that has significantly grown. And as a father of 2, it's very cool seeing my son's 529 custodial accounts increase significantly over time. And literally all I did was continue to do the same thing. Once again, people, you do not miss money that you don't see. And automate your savings, everyone, because your old self is going to most certainly thank your young self when you get to retirement age, okay? Before I go any further, please hit the notification bell. Please like, comment, subscribe. That way you know when I drop new content and it helps the algorithm, okay? Next. The next way to build a wealth on a low income is to start as early as humanly possible. Parents, open a 529 or custodial account for your children as soon as they are born and put money into that account every month. If you're a teenager under 18 listening to this podcast right now, talk to your parents or to a responsible adult like an older brother, older sister, or some, or a cool uncle or cool aunt, and ask them to open a custodial Roth IRA for you and put 15 to 20% of every one of your paychecks on McDonald's, being a lifeguard, or wherever you work, at the YMCA or wherever. Have them put that money into custodial Roth IRA, because if you do that, the earlier everybody you start, the better. For my parents, if you put $250 every month into one of your children's 529 custodial accounts and invest it into stocks that average over 10% over a 15-year period, by the time your child is 18, they will have over $140,000 waiting for them when they turn 18. To my teenagers that are listening, if you're 15 years old and you invest $250 every month into a good passively managed low-cost index fund that averages roughly 10% over a 15-year period, by the time you are 65, you will have $3.7 million waiting for you in retirement. Conversely, if you wait until you're 40 and you invest roughly $1,000 every month to your retirement accounts, by 65, you're only going to have $1.2 million in retirement. Basically, people, I use that analogy all the time to say this: start investing as early as humanly possible. If you don't know how to do that and don't know where to invest, cool. Reach out to Financipation and we're going to book a one-on-one session with it. And I will literally walk you through exactly how to do that. So the next way to get wealthy on a low income is to start investing as early as humanly possible. Next. The next way to build wealth on low income is to use tax optimization and invest into what I call the 3 pillars. So I often talk about the 3 pillars on this channel, and those 3 pillars are the 401k, the Roth IRA, and the HSA. These are all 3 tax-efficient investment vehicles that allow us to legally lower our taxable incomes, and it allows us to easily and systematically build generational wealth. So at the time of this recording in 2024, you can invest approximately $23,000 into your 401k, $7,000 into your Roth IRA, and $4,150 into your HSA if you're single. And there are also more complicated things such as backdoor Roth IRAs, irrevocable trusts, and wills that you can set up with a tax professional to save even more money legally in taxes. But I'm not going to talk about those in this particular podcast because I have other videos about that kind of stuff. All right. But if you have a lower income and you don't financially cannot afford to actually max out your Roth IRA, your HSA, and your 401k account, perfect. My advice is simple. Only invest into your employer's 401k match and put approximately $4,150 into your HSA. And the reason why I say that is this: try to max out what you can. If you can only max out one of the 3 pillars, only max out one of the 3 pillars. If you only max out 2 of the 3 pillars, only max out 2 of the 3 pillars. If you can only max out your Roth IRA, put $7,000 into it. Basically, people, max out what you can, okay? And I want you to remember this saying: fines are essentially penalties for doing something wrong. Taxes are penalties for doing something right. So if you have a low income, focus once again on maxing out the pillars that you can actually max out, and the other ones slowly try to build yourself up to those over time. So the next way to get wealthy on a low income is to max out your tax efficient accounts like your 401k, your Roth IRA, and your HSA. Next, the next way to build wealth on a low income is to become an entrepreneur and to start a side business or something that you're passionate about and that you love. So the American version of capitalism seriously rewards business owners. In America, people that own businesses get to spend their money first and then they get taxed second. But people that work for other people and who file W-2s, they get taxed first and they get to spend their money second. Start a business, everyone, and doing something that you are passionate about and that you can see yourself literally working 100 hours a week and not even think about it as a job. Or start a business, something that you are extremely good at that people will pay you to do and to consult on the side for. So here at Financipation, I tell people that if you work 50 hours a week in corporate, you should spend at least 20 to 30 hours a week working on your side business. And if you work full-time as an entrepreneur, you should spend around 70 to 90 hours a week working on your entrepreneur business on the side. And ideally, everyone, you should want to make so much money in your side business. It literally allows you to walk out of corporate America forever. Or make so much money from the side business that if you do get fired, you can literally go years or decades without ever needing to get another job. So let's say you're into, luxury cars and you want to start a luxury mobile detailing business. Cool, start a business. Let's say you're a licensed master electrician. You can open an LLC and start installing electrical services and devices on the weekends for mom and pop shops. Or let's say you're a licensed professional engineer and you essentially want to start working on the side for the state. People, at the end of the day, all of us are very talented in something. And as a result, there's certain things that we can do essentially to make more money. And my advice is you should get into doing that kind of stuff. Start a legal business entity and start working that business on the side until you can work it full time. Next, the next way to build wealth on a low income is to measure your investment to income ratio and to increase the percentage every year. This goes back to my earlier point, everyone, about the importance of having a budget, okay? And to me, it speaks to the importance of knowing down to the dollar how much money you have going out and how much money you have coming in. I actually have several podcasts about this one, but one of the main numbers you should know on your road to building generational wealth is your investment to income ratio. For example, let's say you bring in $5,000 a month and you can only invest $500 a month into your 401k. Well, that would mean your investment to income ratio is only 10%. If you were my client, I would advise you to get that number closer to 20 to 25% and to try to figure out a way to invest $1,000 a month instead of $500 a month. And also, I want you to keep this in mind, everyone, that lifestyle does play a factor in your investment to income ratio. So when I was a debt-free single bachelor living here in Miami with no kids and no wife, I was driving brand new sports cars. I was investing around 30 to 40% of my income. Now that I'm married with 2 children, I have more bills. And as a result, I'm only investing about 22% of my income. But the point of the matter is this, everyone, I'm still investing what I possibly can. And my advice is invest until it hurts. So people start asking me, how much do they invest? I always tell them that essentially invest up to an amount that honestly hurts. You need to figure out a way to make it work. And the next way, everybody, to get wealthy on a low income is to increase the percentage of the income that you invest every year. So that, everybody, the channel is all about making money. It's all about saving money. It's all about building generational wealth. And it's all about financially emancipating yourself from generational poverty. You can book a one-on-one session with me at any point. The link is below. I'm not giving you financial advice. Everybody on this channel, you must make your own responsible decisions based on your own independent research that you do for yourself and for your lifestyle, okay? Please follow me, everybody, and check out my website at www.therealfinancipation.com. Check me on Instagram at @thereal_financipation. Please check me out on Spotify, Financipation. Please check me out on TikTok, Financipation. Additionally, my Facebook page is Financipation as well. And you can check out my digital blog as well, Financipation, for $4.99 a month, where I go into a lot more detail about investment strategies, HSAs, rollover conversions, all that kind of stuff, okay? And also check out some of my digital products below as well. Hit that notification bell. Please like, please comment, please share, please subscribe, please hit that notification bell so you know I drop new content. And thanks to Liquid Solutions for all these dope graphics. It's your boy, Chris. I'm out, everybody. Peace.